You ready?
Hey, listen!
Get some.
Yeah.
Hey, listen!
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Lawrence's Let's Plays. Today I'm bringing to you my picks for the top 5 fighters in Watcher of Realms. To my returning viewers, thanks so much for your continued support, and if you're new to the channel, thank you as well for stopping by. Without any further ado, my name is Lawrence, and let's play. So if you watched my previous video for my top 5 marksmen, be sure to check that out on my channel. I'm going to be continuing running through my picks for top 5 of each character class. I started with the marksman. Today will be fighters. I will also be bringing you a top 5 mages video. Keep in mind that once again, this is just one person's opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I certainly welcome comments in my channel based on the videos that I put up to let me know what you guys think. If I've made a mistake, if you feel like I maybe overlooked somebody that should have been placed higher, always welcome to listen to your feedback. I do want to say, much like the previous video and these videos moving forward for my top 5 picks of each character class, that there will be a specific omission because I'm going to be doing a separate video for that as well, and that is who I think the top lords are. Lords are not included in these top 5 lists that I'm doing, from marksmen to fighters, mages, defenders, and healers. That being said, let's jump on in. Yeah. So, got to go to the gallery because in fighters, a couple in particular fighters, 3 fighters actually, I do not have that's on this list, and those are Zillatu, Valkyra, and Arrogance. Certainly tried to pull on the Arrogance banner, but did not get him. Oh well, things happen. So, starting out, who would I pick as my number 1 pick? My number 1 pick is probably going to seem controversial. I expect to get a comment or two about this. Everyone says Arrogance is the absolute best fighter in the game, and could be argued he may be the best character in the game between him and maybe Hatsit. I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to explain to you the reasons why I chose someone above him, and who I'm choosing is Zillatu. And you're thinking to yourself, well, Lawrence, why would you choose Zillatu over Arrogance? Well, let me break this down. If you look at their range, look at Zillatu's range. Let's go into Arrogance. Exact same range. So to me, that's even Stevens. They both have the same exact range. They also 100% damage to one enemy. They also have the ability as hybrid characters that they are fighters slash ranged or marksmen that can actually attack enemies at range. So again, looking here, you know that talent, Demon Bow, inflicts burning on the target. Demon Blade's in normal stance, 30% chance to increase hero's attack speed by 40. We know that he will attack enemies close with the blade and use the demon's blade and use the demon bow from a distance. Okay, so far they're pretty even Steven. They're both kind of doing the same thing. Also, they both do burning. They both do HP burning. But why I'm choosing Zillatu over Arrogance? So let's look at her skills. 100% damage to one enemy. This is magic attack, includes airborne units. Block targets take 20% more damage. That can get boosted up with max skill ups to another 20%, so that's 120% damage to an enemy. 20% more damage. Yeah, 100% damage. So they take 120% damage to targets. Blocked targets take 20% more damage. So when triggered with her alt, Will of Hegemony, deals 300% extra damage in a larger range for 25 seconds, inflicting burning every time the hero attacks. Not a percentage chance to inflict burning, just simply inflicts burning. What does that do? Deals 20% magic damage per second. Burning effects from different sources can coexist. And we see the effect duration goes to another 5 seconds, so that's 30. Then another 5, so 35 seconds for this burning. Effect duration, or skill cost, takes it down to 1,000. Initial rage goes up to 700. Skill cost minus 100, so 900, 700. Initial rage, 800. So she starts with max skill ups on her alt, that is manually activated, with initial rage cap of 800, and only has to get up to 1,000, right? skill customizer. I'm sorry, only has to get up to 900. So she's only 100 rage away from being able to cast this alt, which is pretty damn powerful. Does quite a bit of damage. You see the 2 damage increases, 40%, 40% at level 3, level 5. So that ends up being 380% extra damage for a 35-second alt. Nasty. So the biggest reason, 2 reasons why I choose Zola 2 over Arrogance, actually. For this passive and the fact that she can be placed behind a defender, unlike Arrogance, who's going to be on the battlefield, not really behind a defender. He's going to be kind of a defender slash fighter slash range kind of guy. You can place her behind a unit, a great unit like an Olag, a Regulus, someone of that nature that's going to block a lot. Captain Reeve, that's going to block a lot of enemies. And every single time that defender is blocking enemies for her due to this particular basic attack, those units are taking additional damage just because they're being blocked. So that's one reason. Another reason is this. Soul Siphoning passive. Each attack will deal additional true damage. So ignoring defense by 40% attack to the target that's above 80% HP. And that goes up to an additional 20%. So that's an additional 20%, 60% true damage. Ignoring defense. 60% additional damage to targets above 80% HP. Also, this passive allows her to get stronger. Charges energy after 3 seconds of not doing damage. Increases damage by 5% per second, up to 25%. The charged energy will be consumed in 1 second, and the damage increase will end. Damage increase per second goes up another 1, 2, 3, 5%, so another 35% increased damage. That's a lot of additional damage. She is incredibly strong. Soul Siphoning remaining requirement. It drops it from 80% to 70%. Crit damage plus 15 is really nice for the second awakening. Will have hegemony duration, so her alt will last an extra 10 seconds. Rage regen plus 3. Recovers 10% HP for every attack of recharge consumed during Empress Might. And Empress Might, Empress Might is this one, yeah, the passive. So she's also going to be able to self-sustain with health. So she is my pick for number 1. And then coming in second will be Arrogance. Arrogance, like I indicated, produces burning on a target, just like Zola 2. Also has the ability to be a hybrid fighter that's ground-based as well as hitting enemies at range. So he can also hit airborne units. And he's just fantastic all around and does a crap ton of damage. Attacks one enemy within 1 tile with the Demon Blades, doing 100% damage. Deals single target damage to enemies further away or airborne with the Demon Bow. And the increase of damage goes up to 120. His alt, Berserker Stance, attacks inflict 260% damage. Increases basic attack range. Uses the blade instead when attacking enemies far away. The blade inflicts AoE damage to enemies around the main target, equal to 20% of that to the main target, along with an additional burning. Again, no percentage chance of burning there. I like that. It's just automatically going to be burning, which is another, 20%? Yeah, 20% magic damage per second to enemies in range. Damage goes up another 100%, so 360% damage. AoE damage increase of 10% from 20 to 30, and skill customize 150, so that takes it down to 750. I wish he had a little bit of a boost to his initial rage, so it made him get to his alt a little bit faster, which actually would be a third reason I would pick Zola 2, because she's getting to her alt much faster. You see his will go down to a 750 max rage cap, but he still starts at only 400. So he still needs to get 350 rage build up to be able to cast this. Every one enemy killed while in Berserker Stance receives 1 attack speed bonus attack from the talent. When the stance ends, deals 80% AoE damage to up to 10 adjacent enemies 2 times. That's a good bit of damage up to a lot of enemies. You see the damage multiplier stacks up. I'm not going to read over all his skills. Demon Bow, Demon Boomerang, 15% chance to attack 2 targets. Demon Blades, 15% chance for double strikes. So he has that dual ability where he has a 15% chance to attack 2 targets at range. Demon Blades, up close melee, 15% chance for double strikes. And obviously you can see as you book that up, it goes up higher. I mean, he's incredibly good, don't get me wrong. I think Zola 2 outshines him just a little bit. But those are my top 2 picks. Third place, gotta be my man Salazar. Salazar is a monster, an absolute beast. In all content, he's usable except for content that requires you to take out aerial units, which is why he's third place and cannot, in my opinion, beat an Arrogance or Zola 2 because of the hybrid ability of them attacking up close melee and ranged. He's just not going to be able to outshine them, but the damage he does cannot be denied. 15% chance to inflict bleed on one enemy goes up to an additional 2%, so 17% chance. It's a low percentage chance, but still, bleed is very, very impactful in this game. Does quite a bit of damage. But here's his ult is nasty. Manually activated, launches a blitz of 6 strikes randomly on all targets in range. Each strike, the first 5, deals 220% damage, and the last deals 300% damage. Becomes immune to all damage when the skill is in effect. The skill guarantees crit hits on targets inflicted with bleed. So if they're bleeding, it's a guaranteed crit hit. Level 2, initial rage plus 100. So then he has 400 rage. Skill cost minus 100, so now we're at 1,000. Damage increase plus 40. So then it's 260% damage. The last strike goes to 340. Initial rage plus 100. Now he's at 500 rage. Skill cost minus 100. Now he's at 900. Damage increase 40%, an additional 40%. So now 360, 380. That's 220, and 280. That's an 80 rather. It's 300% damage. The last strike. And another 40% damage, so that goes up to 380% damage. That is a lot of damage. A lot of damage. He absolutely murders Guild Boss. He is a monster in Guild Boss. Launches basic attack on one enemy, dealing 35% damage 2 times. The second attack will guarantee a crit hit if the target is inflicted with bleed. You see the damage will increase by another 20%. And I really like this as well. His passive, Blessing of Dragon Blood, restores 3% max HP for every 7 critical hits landed. You want to build him with crit to make sure he's hitting for crit. Required crit hits reduces to where you only need to hit the enemy 5 times. And the percentage of HP increases 5%. So he's going to be able to have the ability to restore health, basically like a life steal, 8% max HP for every 5 crit hits. So you're going to want to make sure to build him with critical high crit chance. So he would be my 3rd place. And my 4th place would be Valkyra, one of the other heroes I don't have. And why is Valkyra so good? Deals 100% AoE damage to multiple enemies in range and inflicts vulnerability magic damage on them. I believe that's a 10% increase in the damage they take. 15% rather, a damage increase for magic damage. Goes up to another 20%, so 120. And Raiding Shadow, manually activated ult, increases damage by 40% for 20 seconds. Consumes any shield the hero has at present, increasing attack range by 1, attack speed by 100, and damage by up to 100% based on the strength of the shield. Initial rage plus 100, so she goes to 400. Skill cost goes down to 700. Damage bonus plus 5, duration plus 5. Increase the duration to 25 seconds. Duration gets increased at level 5 as well, so then it becomes 30 seconds. Initial rage 100, so that's 500. Skill cost minus another 100 puts her at 700. So she doesn't have to take too long to get to her ult. She has to build up 200 rage. You're getting a damage bonus also of 10%, so then it goes up to an extra damage bonus of 10%, 50% for 20 seconds. Really, really strong. Increases attack by 3% after every 17 seconds, up to 8 times, and the effect lasts permanently. What's great about this is attack increase plus 1, 2%. So it goes up to an increased attack of 5%. Interval can be reduced 3 seconds down to 14 seconds. So you can get an attack boost of 5% for every 14 seconds. Can stack up to 8 times. That's a 40% permanent damage boost. If the battle takes that long, she can actually get up to a 40% increase in her damage, which is nasty. Also, this passive miracle allows her to revive an ally. In range, restore 50% HP for them. This effect can only be triggered 1 time per deployment and does not revive herself. Revived allies HP restored goes to 60, 70, 80. She can restore up to 100% of any ally that's died in battle at least once and cannot per deployment and cannot revive herself. Pretty nasty. Final pick, and I didn't go over her awakenings. Awakening 1, I believe, is where she extends her range, so this definitely makes her better. Also didn't go over Salazar's awakenings, but you know what, for sake of argument, let's go into them. Salazar, 1, increases the chance of inflicting bleed with basic attack by 10%. Bleed duration plus 2. Attack plus 5 is always good. Bleed duration plus 2. Yep. That was that one. Penetration plus 8% penetration on defense. Boiling Blood guarantees a crit hit on the first attack against targets inflicted with bleed. So very, very good. Valkyrie, or Valkyra, however you pronounce her name. Yeah, basic attack range plus 1, so she increases her attack range. Attack plus 5 is great. Damage increase based on shield, 50%, nice. Crit rate plus 5%. Allies revived by miracle gain a divine blessing of damage increase for 10 seconds. So she's also going to increase their damage when she revives an ally to 100% increased damage. Nasty. So, finally, 5th place, Cerberus. Cerberus is absolutely nasty for what he does. The only reason why I rate Cerberus so low is because I'm just not a fan that much of this chaotic faction, due to the fact that in order for these characters to really receive or see their true potential, they have to like take a lot of damage and or die, and in his case it's both. But not to say he's not good. He's really good. The amount of damage that he pumps out, especially in like kind of a death rattle move when he dies on the battlefield. So let's look at him. Magic attack, basic attack. When deployed, immediately deals 200% AoE damage to surrounding enemies. Then creates water of decay beneath the hero's feet, dealing 40% AoE damage to multiple enemy units per second. This effect lasts permanently. That's pretty nasty. Goes up to 2, 4, 6, another 10%. So he's continuously doing a 50% AoE damage to enemies that just simply walk into this water of decay that he puts beneath his feet. Kind of like Captain Reeve and his ability to slow enemies with his Brian Shield, I would say. During the ultimate, increases damage by 70%, slows the target hit by 50% with each attack for 15 seconds. Damage increase goes up 3 times at 10%, so 100%. Effect duration to 20. Pulling Death. Now, this is what really makes him unique. Pulling Death, because he has this Death Rattle move, generates a ground effect area underneath, doing AoE 100% AoE damage per second for 12 seconds. Duration goes up another 8 seconds, so for 20 seconds, damage increases to another 50%. Ground effect area duration plus 3 seconds and 5 seconds. So yeah, 20 seconds and a 50% damage boost for 12 seconds. Just when he dies, he just does this massive AoE damage again to any enemies that's walking into the puddle he leaves behind. First time deployment cost -6. All ally mages cost -1 upon first death. But this hero can only be triggered 1 time for all ally mages. That's a pretty interesting passive. Reduces the hero's cost in the arena by 2. We'll see his awakenings. Within 10 seconds of deployment, all ground effect areas will slow enemies in range. Nice, a little bit of additional crowd control. Attack plus 5% at 2. When HP drops below 50%, doubles the damage dealt by the ground effect area per second. That is very good, very powerful. Crit rate plus 8%. Reduces the cooldown of the talent effect by 3 seconds and the HP consumption by 5% max HP. So, yeah, he is very strong. Like we said, the ability to do that Death Rattle move is quite nasty. It can produce quite a bit of a nasty surprise to enemies after he's been killed. That is my list, guys. Like I said, I look forward to your comments. Be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the list, and if there was any changes you would make. Maybe I left someone out that you think should have been included. My list maybe was different than your list in terms of where you would place the heroes in their positions. I appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you guys. Thanks again, as always, for stopping by and supporting my channel. Do consider giving a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed this content, if you found it helpful and informative. And consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, so I can continue to allow my channel to grow. Nothing really left to say, guys. I am Lawrence. This has been Lawrence's Let's Plays, and I am out of here. Take care, everybody. I'll see you real soon.